This is the new Peugeot e-208 and it's an electric version of the 208, a car I like very much, so I should like this one a lot as well, but we'll find out in this video. It is expensive though. It starts from just under £29,000 and that's after taking into account a £3,000 government grant for electric powered vehicles. You can save a further 1,600 quid off one though if you get a carwow. If you don't want to do that, just later on just Google carwow and you can go there yourself. Let's start off by talking about the engine because there isn't one. It's electric, of course, so it does sort of look like it's got an engine with this covering. What's under here? I think that might be the inverter or the control unit for the motor, which is down in there. The batteries underneath the rear seats, and it's a 50 kilowatt hour battery pack, which will give you a range of 217 miles according to Peugeot. Now you can charge it at a normal 3-pin socket like you got in your house. That'll take 22 hours, yeah. Quite long. You can charge it a wall charger at 7.5 kilowatt hours in just 7.5 hours. So overnight, plug it in, be done in the morning. Or if you go to a rapid public charger, if it's a 100 kilowatt hour charger, you can charge it from empty to 80% full in just 30 minutes. Now that's much more like it, isn't it? Just the motor itself and its performance, it has 136 horsepower. Apparently this is the quickest accelerating 208 you can buy at the moment. It'll do 0 to 60, so say Peugeot, in 8.1 seconds, but will it? Will it really? To find out, I'm going to be using my new specialist timing gear. Right, I'm going to launch it. It's pretty easy. Just get in drive, put it into sport. It's not really launch control, you just floor it. 3, 2, 1, go! Good initial pickup. Strong through the mid-range. Doing all right. Tailing off a bit at the top end now. That was 60. All rather serene. 0 to 60 in just under 7.8 seconds, which is kind of as quick as an old 205 GTI from back in the day. That's actually all right, isn't it? Because of the added weight of its batteries, this e-208 weighs in at almost 1,500 kilos, so it's 500 kilos heavier than the entry-level petrol 208. As a result, it has been fitted with some beefed up brakes to help it slow down. Just like the normal 208, this electric version is front-wheel drive only. However, because of its extra weight, Peugeot's had to fit it with stiffer suspension so it doesn't lollop about all over the place in the corners. At the back, they fitted it with something called a pan hard rod, which interestingly is a French design. And it's a metal bar which joins the body to the rear axle, and it effectively holds the rear axle straight so it doesn't move around from side to side because of the added weight of the car. So what's this little 208 like as a daily driver? Well, in town it's great. The electric motor gives you nippy responsiveness, yay! And with that braking effect as well, you can drive around quite a lot without having to touch the normal brakes. Thing is though, when you touch the normal brakes, they feel a bit squidgy, a bit unusual until you get used to them. This is nice and easy to drive around town. The steering's super light, it's all fine. It's quite a compact car, so it's easy to nip through gaps in traffic. What's not so good though is this huge pillar there. It creates a bit of a blind spot. You sometimes end up looking around it. Another thing that I find a bit annoying is that this particular car I'm driving here, it's probably not the case for all 208s, has a weird rattle in the door. Can you hear that? It's doing my head in. Shut up! No, that didn't fix it. I think it's made it worse actually. Oh well. Now this is more noticeable because for the rest of the time the car is a lot quieter because you haven't got a petrol engine or a diesel engine up front rattling away. Another thing you notice is that firmer suspension does just pick up the bumps a little bit more than the normal 208, but you know, I'm splitting hairs. I'm just being a motoring journalist about it. When you want to go a bit faster and go on the motorway, the acceleration's all right. So let's say I'm doing 50 miles an hour now, I'm going to floor it. It's easing up to 70, and there's your 70. That was reasonably quick. Wasn't bad at all, that. Once again, because it's so quiet when you're just driving along because there's no internal combustion engine, you do notice the wind noise a little bit more. Just a little bit. And the tyre noise just a bit. But they're not intrusive, actually. You soon forget they're there. And anyway, most of the time you're just going to have the stereo on, aren't you? And it's all right to do miles in. This thing will do over 200 miles, according to Peugeot, so it should be able to get you up the motorway. Though obviously electric cars are never quite so good on the motorway. They just aren't, you know, when you're travelling at higher speed, they drain their batteries a bit quicker. In fact, if you want to see what the real world range is of some popular electric cars, click on the pop-out banner up there to watch my special EV range test where I drive a bunch of electric cars until they run out of battery to see what exactly happens when they have no charge left. Do they just conk out? Do they just leave you stranded? Watch that video to find out, it's quite interesting. Now let's talk about this car's design. From the front, it's pretty much identical to the normal 208. It's hard to tell them apart. It has the same 3-prong LEDs there at the front, which is supposed to look like a lion's claws. And then you've got the Fang daytime running light that extends all the way into the bumper. Once again, lion reference. But the key difference is actually in the lion. There's a blue element to the badge to signify electricity, I guess. From the side, the e-208, it's a good looking car, but it's virtually indistinguishable from the normal 208. But I think that's the idea that Peugeot's getting at. The only thing that really stands out is this little E badge here. Like I say, it's little, so you have to know what you're looking for. There is one thing though, you see the e-208 has these gloss black wheel arches as standard right across the range. However, you only get them from the mid-level upwards on the petrol and diesel models. As standard, this car has 16-inch wheels, but GT Line and GT models get these fancier 17s. At the back, yet again, great looking. In fact, I love this car from every angle. It's got a sporty roof spoiler. I like the way you've got this big black strip, the way Peugeot's written across the back, the lion claw effect in the tail lamps. E-badge there reminds that it's the electric version, and obviously there are no tailpipes. It's electric, what are you expecting? In fact, I'd love it if a manufacturer had the nerve to put fake exhaust pipes on an electric car. I bet Audi would do it, wouldn't they? Here on the inside, this e-208 is identical to the normal car. Really interesting design to it. Quality materials mostly about the place, but then things are a bit scratchy and cheap in places, and this black piano plastic does scratch quite easily, and I've even just scratched it by rubbing my nail across it. I like these buttons here as well, which control various things like your heater and your hazard lights, and then there's these shortcut buttons for the infotainment system as well. It's all very cleverly thought out actually. Bits of storage here, your cup holders, and a little bit more storage there, decent sized door bins. The classic Peugeot glove box, which is so small you can barely fit the manual in it, as you can see. So you can shut it now. And the funny little steering wheel where you have to peer over to the dials. And this is where you notice one difference with the normal car. So you get some electric specific dials which show the energy flow meter from the batteries into the motor and back again when you're braking and recharging the batteries. So you also get that information up here on the main screen. This is the range topping GT model. So you've got the huge big infotainment screen, which is optional on all other versions, and it has the posher seats with the Alcantara inserts and the bits of snazzy high visness on them. But they also add the little blue stitching here, which is obviously yet again a subtle hint to the fact that this car is electric, though if you don't notice it by driving it, that's hardly going to give the game away, is it? Despite the fact that Peugeot has actually put the batteries for this car underneath the rear seats, they've managed to not actually have to raise up the back bench, which is a good thing, because if they had, you'd really struggle for headroom. I mean, as it is, look, it's passable for me, look, it's passable, but people over 6 foot will struggle slightly, especially for knee room, which is tight. It is exactly the same as the normal 208, and if you want to find out more about this car's practicality and other features, we'll go in more detail on like fitting a baby seat and stuff like that. Click on the pop-out banner up there for the full in-depth video review of the 208 range. The e-208's boot is exactly the same size as the normal 208, so you've got 311 litres, which is a lot more litres than you get with a mini electric, but less than a Tesla Model 3. Now, why did I mention a Tesla Model 3? Well, because everyone loves Teslas. That's the most popular Tesla, and if you'd like to see my review of the car, that Tesla Model 3, click on the pop-out banner up there. Anyway, on with this boot. There is one thing that's a bit annoying with the e-208 compared to the normal petrol or diesel car, and it's the fact that you always have to carry around your charging cables in this bag. Yeah, so it takes up space. And that brings you on to 5 annoying things about this car. Even if the car is in park when you've got the ignition on it, and you dare to open the front driver's door, you get this alarm. Now, I know it's for safety, but it's just so annoying and scary that it makes you just want to flee! For some reason, while the entry-level petrol and diesel versions of the 208 come with 16-inch alloy wheels as standard, the more expensive entry-level version of the e-208 comes with 16-inch steel wheels as standard. Peugeot only gives you this one charging cable when you buy the car, which is fine if you've got a wall charger, but what happens when you visit a friend's and they don't have one? You're going to need a 3-pin socket to put some juice back in your car to get you home, aren't you? But you're not going to be able to unless you buy that cable. While normal versions of the 208 get a space saver spare wheel, you don't get one with the e-208. Instead, you have this tyre repair stuff, which is really difficult to use. So if you get a puncture, you're just going to have to call out the breakdown services to help you out. Electric cars are supposed to be high-tech and very modern, and this one is, apart from the image you get from its reversing camera. It's all blocky, washed out, and it's jerky when you move. Terrible. It's not all negative though. Here's 5 good things about this car.
The car has a flat underfloor to improve aerodynamics, reduce drag, and therefore maximise your range.
With the My Peugeot mobile phone app, you can precondition the car's cabin temperature so it's just right for when you get in it, and initiate charging remotely. When you first buy this car, Peugeot gives you a Polar charge card subscription. After 6 months though, you have to pay £8 for it. This is a great choice if you want an electric car that doesn't shout, hey, look at me, I'm an electric car, aren't I great, aren't I socially responsible, because it looks identical to the normal internal combustion engine models. But you know deep down that you're doing your bit and saving money on fuel bills. You can get ISOFIX anchor points on the front passenger seat, so if you need to, you can carry 3 child seats in this car. Finally, let's talk about the equipment levels. e-208 range kicks off with the active model, and that gets climate control and automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection. Move up to the Allure model and you get some electrically folding mirrors, wireless charging for your mobile phone, some extra USB ports, and the full digital driver's display. Then there's the GT line, which gets LED headlights, front and rear parking sensors, plus a reversing camera, and 8 colours for the interior ambient lighting. At the top of the range is the GT, so that gets adaptive cruise control with steering assist to help keep you in lane while you're on the motorway. You also get that larger infotainment screen with the built-in satellite navigation and heated front seats. It is quite expensive though, so which is my pick of the e-208 range? Well, do you know what? I'm actually going to build my ideal model on the carwow configuration. I'm not going to show it you, but I've got a great deal back on it. So if you want to see what that deal is and what the exact trim level is, click on the pop-out banner up there to check out my choice for this car. So then, what's my final verdict on the Peugeot e-208? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should go right ahead and buy it. It's a great little electric car with a decent range that looks absolutely fabulous, and it's pretty decent value for money as well. Do you agree with my verdict? Let me know in the comments section. Also, please subscribe to this channel for more videos, and if you click on the deals box to the right, you can see how much you can save on a new car at CarWow. Or click on the video windows below to watch another of my videos.